Welcome everyone to another episode of Geeky Podcast. I'm Ajay Shinde. I look after projects and strategic partnerships at iThrive. I have my research interests in human cognition, neuroscience, and complexity science. And we have Krishna Mehta today with us. He's a nutrition researcher at iThrive, iThrive's R&D unit. And today the topic is about coffee consumption. The reason why we chose this topic is because coffee is one of the most highly consumed beverages all around the world. And if you look at the way coffee is consumed, it's consumed in corporates, it's consumed in athletes, it's consumed by a lot of fitness enthusiasts. The consumption of coffee is highly debatable. So we have Krishna today to shed some light on the research on the coffee consumption. So Krishna, please introduce yourself and.
Yes, thank you so much Ajay for this introduction. Hello everyone, I am Krishna Mehta, nutritional researcher, R&D department at iThrive, and I'm pretty much excited to talk about this topic today with you, or discuss this topic with you. Hopefully you are excited as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So, since coffee is highly consumed, and if you look at the time when people consume coffee, it's usually in the morning. And I was listening to Dr. Andrew Huberman, who's a neuroscientist and a professor at Stanford. He's quite famous in neurohacking community. He does a lot of research on the coffee consumption and its neurological effects. So he has this theory, and he suggests that the coffee has to be consumed 90 minutes after when you wake up. So is there what is the theory behind that, and of course what does our research say?
Yes. So even I have heard about the same thing. Like even I heard about Andrew Huberman actually discussing we should consume coffee, or he consumes coffee after 60 to 90 minutes when he gets up.
Okay.
So the reason behind it is that when we get up in the morning, and there is a thing what is known as adenosine and adenosine receptors. So when the level of adenosine is pretty much high in our body, we experience this feeling of sleep, and that is why we sleep at night due to adenosine. So coffee acts as an adenosine receptor blocker.
Okay.
So once you are awake in the morning, there is still a negligible amount of adenosine which is still present in our system, so which needs to be cleared out. Now, coffee being acting as an inhibitor of this receptor, once you consume it straight when you get up in the morning, it's going to block it, and then the half-life of coffee is around 5 hours. So by the time the effect wears off, you reach the afternoon phase of the day. So one would experience that afternoon crash, because the buildup of adenosine and the adenosine which is previously present at night, that is going to cause this feeling of tiredness or sleepiness which you actually experience. I guess even you experience the same, right?
Yeah. I used to experience afternoon energy crash, usually after drinking coffee when I wake up. So it's something that I've experienced, but I was not aware of what was the research behind it, because I always wondered is there a time, is there a optimal time to consume coffee, and it's really interesting that there's a biochemical explanation of why when the coffee should be consumed. So of course, thank you for that. And moving forward to the next question. Okay, so the second question was, what are the impacts of habitual consumption of coffee on the health, on of course its neurological effects, and of course effects on overall body?
Yes. So as a coin has two sides, right? We need to look into both aspects of it. Similarly, coffee has its both pros and cons. Now moving on to the pros, for example, a study which was conducted by Chang et al. If you want to see that paper, we'll give that link of that paper in the comment section as well for you guys. So what they found out was that it actually improves brain entropy, due to which you can easily, the brain can actually function pretty well after caffeine consumption. Similarly, it also helps to the cerebral part of the brain and all the parts of the brain which are present. It actually helps to the fire up which is there. It actually improves. Similarly, in athletes as well, like the coffee is a great stimulant, and it is actually used by endurance athletes and even the gym goers as well. So here, what I would like to tell you guys about is that coffee like is metabolized by an enzyme which is encoded by a gene which is known as CYP1A2. Now those having this, there are two variants of this. The ones which are having one variant which is known as fast metabolizers and others will be slow metabolizers. Now those who metabolize caffeine fast, they are going to metabolize it within 4 to 6 hours. And those who are slow metabolizers will metabolize it within like 10 to 12 hours. Let's take an example to identify, like maybe to understand this example really well, a situation like if a person consumes coffee at 4 p.m. and he is supposed to be a slow metabolizer, by the time at night at 1 or 2, that person is going to feel like jitteriness or maybe insomniac, like, or maybe sleeplessness. While a person on the contrary, if he is a fast metabolizer, he can directly sleep at around, if you tell that person to consume coffee at 8 p.m. and you tell that person to sleep at around 10 or 9, he'll just go and sleep. So that is the reason, like we need to look into individuality as well here. Similarly, like caffeine has also shown its effect, or it could be cytotoxic to cancer cells as well. In the morning only I was reading this paper, like it has shown promising results, like it could be cytotoxic to cancer cells. However, we need to keep in mind that caffeine consumption can sometimes cause serious conditions as well, or it could dysfunctions as well, because if a person is already tired, already tired and he goes to gym, still he is going tired, and then to feel the alertness, he's going to consume coffee, right? But then again he'll going to feel that high, and again there will be a crash. So he might be neglecting the fact that this coffee or this adrenal fatigue which is there, or the cortisol level could be playing a role, and due to which he might be feeling tired all the time. It's like burning candles from both the ends, like you're tired as well, you're consuming coffee, and it's again going to cause tiredness as well. Similarly, coffee has shown to be a cross reactant with gluten. Like those individuals who are identified with celiac disease or non-celiac disease but gluten sensitivity, caffeine can go into your gut and cause irritation. It can act as an irritant as well. So again, it's going to cause problems in absorption, and caffeine causes problems of absorption of vitamin B, B vitamins, zinc, iron as well. So a habitual consumer of coffee might be suffering from these things. So we need to take a look into that. Maybe the experts, they say is that a upper tolerable limit of 400 mg of coffee is pretty much okay or tolerable. You can tolerate it. However, one also need to look into hidden sources of caffeine as well, because as we can see in modern days, there are a lot of youngsters basically, or maybe youth, they actually consume these energy drinks or maybe soft drinks, and they have a component that is caffeine hidden in there. So it can actually shoot up your tolerable limit, and it can like make you addicted to caffeine as well. So once you're addicted to caffeine, like even a 1 cup, like if you're consuming this cup also, once you are addicted to it, you won't get that alertness or high which you used to get after consuming that 1 cup, right? You will start consuming another cup. So that is going to, like, your brain is like, it's reward system kind of thing. So once, if you are not providing that much of caffeine also, one can actually suffer from withdrawal symptoms, like you can get headaches, nausea, similar to kind of the people suffer from drugs as well. That's why. So if you want to even decaf yourself, or you're trying to even remove coffee completely out of yourself, don't like just think about it, okay, today I'm going to stop this coffee consumption and directly cut it out. Slowly you have to bring it out of the system, because as other addictions, it is kind of addicting. So you have to make your system understand, okay, now you need to cope up with the amount which you are getting now. So slowly, it needs to be removed as well. Yeah.
So it seems that same happens with like the smoking, even the alcohol consumption.
Yeah.
It's difficult to exit that addiction loop. And same. That's what I have experienced with coffee consumption. If I don't consume a coffee on a particular day, it feels like something is missing, and the brain and the entire neural pathways of my brain go haywire.
Okay, yeah.
So of course there's some effect of coffee, and of course it's addicted. There's a lot of research on that. So thanks for shedding light on the research on the addiction part of the coffee.
Okay. And maybe guys, you can even, what I talked about, like fast metabolizers and slow metabolizers, you can even go and check out a previous podcast wherein we have discussed about the predisposition of caffeine metabolism. Maybe if you want that link, you can add it in the comment sections as well.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so since like you've shared like a lot of research on the coffee consumption part, it seems that a lot of ifs and thens of coffee consumption.
Yeah.
There are certain scenarios where coffee seems like an optimal energy stimulant, but in some scenarios it seems like a addictor. It gets you addicted, and then it's difficult to escape the loop. So of course, the coffee consumption has to be regulated. It has to be like checked upon. Your health condition has to be looked upon. That's what seems to me, and after having a conversation with you, I think that's what I can conclude, that there are a lot of ifs and thens, and so general advice won't work in terms of coffee consumption. And of course, a lot of research is happening, and lot of upgradations in terms of like what kind of a coffee to consume, when to withdraw, when to give away the coffee consumption.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come up with new research areas and keep you upgraded with the facts, with the research, and of course the whatever new studies comes up. So thank you, Krishna. Do you have any concluding remarks?
Yeah, so basically coffee consumption is highly debatable question, and as you concluded it easily, like more research is still going on. And what I would like to say is that coffee consumption should be like general. You cannot follow general recommendation. Maybe it depends from individual to individual.
Yeah.
The individuality, this what is there, it matters a lot. And if you guys also want to understand about the predisposition, like what I was talking about, the fast metabolizers or slow metabolizers, or how you can easily clear off coffee from your system, there is another episode of a Geeky Podcast only which discussed about the same thing, genetic predisposition to caffeine metabolism. And I would highly urge you guys to go and have a look at that podcast, so you will get even more idea about it. So that's it from my side.
Yeah. Thank you everybody. Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, Ajay.